जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि 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 राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुनातीरावनचारि हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna. I seek blessings at the lotus feet of Maharaj and all assembled devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 37. Please repeat after me. Purushasya Mukam Brahma Kshatram Etasya Bhahavaha Urvor Vaishyo Bhagavataha Padbhyam Shudro Vyajayata. Purushasya Mukam Brahma Kshatram Etasya Bhahavaha Urvor Vaishyo Bhagavataha Padbhyam Shudro Vyajayata. Purushasya Mukam Brahma Kshatram Etasya Bhahavaha Urvor Vaishyo Bhagavataha Padbhyam Shudro Vyajayata.
Purushasya Mukam Brahma
Purushasya mukam brahma.
Kshatram etasya bahavaha.
Shakram etasya bahavaha.
Urvor Vaisho Bhagavata.
Purvor Vaishyo Bhavata.
Abhyam Shudra Vijayata.
Padvyam Kshutro Vyajayata. Purushasya mukam brahma.
Kshatram etasya bahavaha.
Kshatram etasya bahavaha.
Urvor Vaisho Bhagavataha.
Purvor Vaishyo Bhavataha.
Padvyang Shudro Vyajayata.
Padvyam Kshutro Vyajayata.
Purushasya mukha brahma.
Purushasya mukam brahma.
Kshatram etasya bhavava.
Kshatram etasya bahavaha.
Urvorvasya bhagavata.
Purvor Vaishyo Bhavataha.
Padvyam sudro vyajayata.
Padvyam Kshudro Vyajayata.
Purushasya Mukam Brahma.
Purushasya mukam brahma.
Kshatram etasya bahavaha.
Shakram etasya bahavaha.
Urvor Vaisho Bhagavata.
Purvor Vaishyo Bhavataha.
Ayam Sudro Jayata.
Padvyam Kshutro Vyajayata.
Purushasya mukham brahma.
Purushasya mukam brahma.
Kshatram etasya bhavava.
Shakram etasya bahavaha.
Urvo vaisho bhagavata.
Purvor Vaishyo Bhavataha.
Padyam shudro vijayate.
Padvyam Kshutro Vyajayata.
Purushasya mukam brahma.
Purushasya mukam brahma.
Shatram etasya bhavaha.
Shatram etasya bahavaha.
Urvar Vaishyo Bhagavataha.
Purvor Vaishyo Bhavataha.
Abhyam Shudro Vijayata.
Padvyam Kshutro Vyajayata. Word for word meaning. Purushasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mukham, mouth. Brahma is the Brahmanas. Kshatram, the royal order. Etasya, of him. Bahavaha, the arms. Urva, the thighs. Vaishyaha, or the mercantile men. Bhagavataha, of the personality of Godhead. Padbyam, from his legs. Shudraha, the laborer class. Vyajayata, became manifested. Translation: the Brahmanas represent his mouth, the Kshatriyas his arms, the Vaishyas his thighs, and the Shudras are born of his legs. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The purport is a little longer. We'll see how much we can cover. All living beings are stated to be the parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and how they are so is explained in this verse. The four divisions of human society, namely the intelligent class, the Brahmanas, the administrative class, the Kshatriyas, the mercantile class, the Vaishyas, and the laborer class, the Shudras, are all in different parts of the body of the Lord. As such, no one is different. The Lord, the mouth of the Lord, the mouth of the body, and the legs of the body are non-different constitutionally. But the mouth or the head of the body is qualitatively more important than the legs. At the same time, the mouth, the legs, the arms, and the thighs are all component parts of the body. These limbs of the body of the Lord are meant to serve the complete whole. The mouth is meant for speaking and eating. The arms are meant for the protection of the body. The legs are meant for carrying the body. and the ways of the body is meant for maintaining the body. The intelligent class in society, therefore, must speak on behalf of the body, as well as accept foodstuffs to satisfy the hunger of the body. The hunger of the Lord is to accept the fruits of sacrifice. The Brahmanas or the intelligent class must be very expert in performing such sacrifices, and the subordinate classes must join in such sacrifices. To speak of the Supreme Lord means to glorify the Lord by means of propagating the knowledge of the Lord as it is, broadcasting the factual nature of the Lord and the factual position of all other parts of the whole body. The Brahmanas, therefore, are required to know the Vedas, or the ultimate source of knowledge. Veda means knowledge, and Anta means the end of it. According to Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. Bhagavad Gita 10.8. And thus, the end of all knowledge, Vedanta, is to know the Lord, to know our relationship with Him, and to act according to that relationship only. I'll pause here due to time, and we'll come back here as time permits. Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Mena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Tadanti Swapadantikam. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vedeshu Purusham Suktam, Dharmasastreshu Manavam, Bharate Bhagavad Gita, Puranamscha Vaishnavam. This is a famous quotation which says, in the Vedas, the essence of Vedas or an important aspect of Vedas are Purusha Sukta. Likewise, there are many Dharma Shastras. Of all different types of Dharma Shastra, Manu Dharma Shastra is the main. Mahabharata has 125,000 slokas. Out of 125,000 slokas, the main essence is 700 slokas. Bharateshu Bhagavad Gita. Puranas, Vaishnava Purana is the topmost Purana. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Purushottama Yoga, Krishna speaks a very interesting point. He says there are two categories of people, fallible and infallible. Dvavimo Purusho Loke, Ksharakshakshara Yevasha, Sharak Sarvani Bhutani, Kutasto Akshara Uchate. He said there are two classes of people. One is fallible, another one is infallible. That is, one who is conditioned in this material world and those who are liberated souls. But among these types of classes of people, someone is superior than all types of souls. That he goes and says, Yasmaksharam Atitoyam Uttama Purushastvanyaha Paramatmeti Udahritaha Yo Lokatrayam Avisha Bhibartyavyayam Ishwaraha. Of all types of living entities, whether it's a conditioned soul, or it's a liberated soul, or eternally liberated soul, there is someone who is above all this. Uttama Purusha Tanyaha. Uttama Purusha means who is above everyone. That is Purushottama or Uttama Purusha. Is the same meaning. Supreme personality of Godhead. Prabhupada translates this Purushottama or Uttama Purusha as Supreme personality of Godhead. Why is supreme? Because he is supreme for various reasons. One reason is not like the conditioned souls. That's the main reason. Yasmaksharam atitoyam aksharat api chotitam chotamaha atosmi loka vedecha patitaha pratitaha purushottamaha. So he says in the 15th sloka, I am beyond and transcendental, unlike the other entities. Yomam evam asammudo janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajate mam sarva bhavena bharata. Iti guhyatamam shastram, the last sloka of 15th chapter. He says, Iti guhyatamam shastram, Sri Sri Gaurnitai ki chai. Iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam mayanaha etad buddhva buddhimamshat kritakritascha bharata. Therefore, I have given you this most confidential knowledge that is in the Vedic scriptures. Sarva Upanishado Gavaha Dokta Gopal Nandanaha. So all the Upanishads are put together in the form of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna says, I have given the essence of what you really need to know. All you need to know is about the Purusha, Uttama Purusha, the absolute supreme personality of Godhead. Who's telling this? Krishna is telling, standing in front of Arjuna. Why are we picking up this particular chapter for today's discussion is because the first word over here, you could say Purushasya. Purushasya. That term Purushasya plays a very important part. Sahasra Sirisha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhomim Vishvato Vritva Atyatishta Tasangulam Purusha Evedahum Sarvam Yad Bhutam Yatyabhavyam Udamr Datvaseshanaha Etannena Hirohati Yetavanasya Mahima Atojaya Pushya Gurusha. It is Purusha Shuktam. In the Purusha Shuktam is all about this term called Purusha. Purusha. Very important for us to know what it really means, Purusha. Because in the Purusha Shukta, Vedeshu Purusham Shuktam, in the Purusha Shukta, which is the main part of all the four Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva, of these four Vedas, this Purusha Shukta is present in all the four Vedas. And what the sloka speaks today, and pretty much this entire chapter, is all about the Purusha Shuktam. This Purusha Shuktam is chanted usually as an auspicious prayer before performing any fire sacrifices. We have to start the Purusha Shuktam and it is chanted. Brahmanosya mukamasit. And it says that, over here it says that the Brahmanas are born from the mouth or the face or the mouth of the Supreme Purusha. Brahmanosya mukamasit bahuro janyakritaha. The Kshatriyas comes out of the shoulders. They get created. And then Urdhvas, next to it goes Urvor Vaishyo Bhagavataha. The Vaishyas, the mercantile class, they appear or born from the thigh of the Lord, Purusha. And Shudro, the labor class, they born from the feet of the Lord. That's how the entire, when the creation happens, everything gets created from the Lord. Now let's understand this term Purusha. Purusha. The Purusha are five things. Appurusha, Purusha, Utpurusha, Uttara Purusha, Uttama Purusha. These are the five Purushas. Appurusha means matter. The matter doesn't have consciousness. The wood, this mic, this laptop, all this thing doesn't have consciousness. They fall into the term called Appurusha. They are not Purushas. They are non-sentient entities. Purusha are the living entities. We are all living entities. We are Purusha. Utpurusha are the liberated entities. Liberated living entities. Uttara Purusha are those living entities are in the spiritual world. Nitya Vibhuti. They are always eternally present in the spiritual world. And the last is Apurusha, Purusha, Utpurusha, Utpurusha, and then Uttara Purusha. Uttara Purusha, Uttama Purusha. The last one is Uttama Purusha. That is Purushottama. So that is what has been mentioned here. Krishna is unlike us, who doesn't have karma, is not bound by the three modes of material nature, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. He is not bound by these things. He is not born because of karma, like how we are all born because of our karma. So therefore the Supreme Lord Purushottama is beyond this Prakriti, beyond this. Now, the Vedas, which I said, there's 4, Rig, Sama, Atharvana, Yajur, these 4 Vedas, has 2 parts, Purva Bhaga and Uttara Bhaga, the top part and the bottom part. The top part of the Vedas speaks about how to perform the karmas, how to perform pujas to various devatas, how to get some benefits out of it. Because there are 4 purusharthas, 4 main things are there. That is dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Right? You do dharma, religiosity. With the religiosity, the particular god is pleased and they give you some material benefit, artha, some material benefit. With that material benefit, what we do, kama, we start enjoying it. How to do religious activity, how to please various gods, and how to enjoy the benefits that we receive from these various gods is spoken in the majority section of Vedas, Purva Bhaga. When a person gets really tired of enjoying this and come to a point, it's too much for me. Every single time I think that I'm going to get happiness, but the happiness never lasts long. Today I come here and say that Krishna, I need to pass my exams. And Krishna said, okay, go for it. I'll please you. Go for it. And the student who comes here from the university, he passes the exam. Next he comes and I passed my exam. Let me get a nice job. He gets a job and start. Then he says, I got a job now. Let me get married. Okay, I need a good girl. Okay, here is a girl, get married. I got married and been married for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We don't have a child. No problem. You come to pray to Krishna. Akama sarvakamo va moksha kama udarati tivirena bhakti yogena. By performing bhakti to Krishna, whether we are interested in moksha, whether we are not interested in moksha, whether we have a desire to enjoy the material energies or we don't have a desire to enjoy the material energy, simply pray to Krishna. Krishna will satisfy us. Right? The ultimate, the purpose of this sloka says that don't need to go anywhere else, just come to Krishna, whatever your desire may be. So the boy comes here, he says, I don't have a child, let me get a, please Krishna, bless me with a child. He gets a child and the child grows up, and then when the child grows, obviously the parent grows. And the parent spends a lot of time to give their money, energy, everything to the child. And the child grows up and tells, what did you do for me? Finally, says, what did you do for me? You didn't do a good job of bringing me up. And the father understands that point. Oh my God, for this guy, I wasted my entire life. I sacrificed everything and he's questioning me back. Then he comes to a point of frustration. I thought that my college education is going to give me happiness. I thought my wife or a husband is going to give me happiness. I thought my children are going to give me happiness. They gave an happiness. Certainly they give some happiness, but it's not everlasting. It's just short term. Is there anything that I can have an happiness for a long time? Then Krishna says, oh, my dear brother, my dear boy, you cannot find that everlasting happiness in this world. You have to come to me, come to my abode. Okay, what should I do now? What should I do now? Then that person comes to a point of studying the second half of the Vedas. Vedanta. First part is Purva Bhaga. Second part is Uttara Bhaga. This Uttara Bhaga is nothing but the Vedanta. The Vedanta is nothing. We are familiar with the term called Upanishads. Upanishad. Ishavasya Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, all the Taittiriya Upanishad, different Keno Upanishad, Kata Upanishad, all the different Upanishads are there. The Upanishad speaks about only one thing, not how to dharma, artha, kama. It doesn't speak about dharma, artha, kama. It speaks about how to attain the supreme personality of Godhead through the process of bhakti. Who is that Supreme Lord? How can we attain? What's the means to attain the Supreme Lord? That we need to do. That is discussed in the Upanishad. And that Upanishad is also not easy. Therefore, what Veda Vyasa he did was, he wrote Vedanta. Vedantas are Upanishad. He wrote Vedanta Sutras. Sutras or like a what is called? Summer it's just like a small capsule, small lines. I'm forgetting the term. There's a small state, very hard to understand, but within that small few words, it has a lot of messages. So Vedanta Sutra has been composed by Veda Vyasa. Atato Brahma Jignasa, the very first sutra. Therefore start inquiring. What? All this while, you tried out to be happy in your life, but you couldn't do it. The only way that you can be happy is by understanding that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. That's the only way we can be happy. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Therefore, the person come to an understanding. What am I going to understand? Where everything comes from, how everything has been maintained, and where everything goes back. Yato va imani bhutani jayante ya yena jatani jivante yap prayanti abhisam visanti tat vijnasu tat brahmam. This is another statement from Taittiriya Upanishad. It says, Yato va imani bhutani, from where everything comes. How everything that comes out of that place is being maintained. At the end, how everything goes back to where it came from. Understand, that is the absolute truth. Atato Brahma Jignasa. And that is what the sloka says. From that Supreme Lord, everything comes. And it's been maintained, not by our effort. Not by our effort. It's the same Lord is maintaining us. We discussed this yesterday also, how we've been carried. Right? Like that, Krishna is the one who saves us, takes care of us. In many situations, we don't even appreciate how Krishna saves us. I'll give a small example here. This mother who has a little baby who is just 1 year, 1.5 year, 2-year-old baby, and they were sleeping on the floor. Imagine this is an India situation where they sleep on the floor. So they sleep on the mat, put a mat, and then sleeping on the floor. And in the middle of the night, the mother wakes up, and for some reason she wakes up, she makes sure the baby is safe and okay. But then she sees a scorpion. A scorpion was coming closer to the baby. Scorpion. You know scorpion, right? The scorpion is quite poisonous. It just stings you, it's just poisonous. The scorpion was coming close to the baby. And the mother sees here and sees, oh, the scorpion. Now, she doesn't try to call 911 at that time. She doesn't try to go to a internet and try to find how to save a baby from a scorpion. Google search. It doesn't do any of those things, right? Simple. What is she going to do? Chase away, throw the scorpion and do something and put the scorpion away from the baby. And when the scorpion is thrown out of the house, she comes back and sleeps next to the baby again. The next day morning, baby wakes up. Mother calls the baby. My dear boy, come here. My dear girl, come here. Do you know what happened last night? The baby, what happened, mom? There was a scorpion coming to sting you. Oh, really? Yeah, it's quite, I saved you. Have we, I'm sure we never went through this situation, but just being a grown-up kids, do you think a mother ever is going to reveal what happened last night to the child? What do you think, Prabhu? Is mother going to tell, you know what happened last night? She can tell. Is the baby going to have a peaceful sleep that night? So mother is not going to tell what happened at all. She's going to completely hide. Likewise, Krishna doesn't come and tell how I am saving you. Krishna doesn't come and tell, you know what, Prabhu? This was going to fall on your head. I saved you. You know what, Prabhu? You're going to slip and fall off. I saved you. You know what? You're going to have this problem. I saved. Krishna doesn't come and tell at all, but he's constantly keeps saving us, constantly saves us. But we don't appreciate, we don't understand, we don't see what Krishna is saving. But irrespective of whether we understand, whether we appreciate, whether we show gratitude, Krishna continues to show his affection towards us because Vatsalyam means a parental affection. The parent doesn't expect anything from the child. They know very well, this guy is going to be useless for me. I'm not going to get any returns from this child. He's gone. But I do this as a duty. Parent does this many times. But Krishna, more than a parent, because the relationship that Krishna and we have is beyond the relationship that we have with our biological parents that we have now. Yes? Because our parents only, for me, my parents is there for just few years. I know them. And after I die, they are no more my parents. They are going to get a new set of parents. I'm going to be dad, mom. That's going to be, what about the previous one? I don't know. But Krishna is not a parent who just leaves us like that. He comes with us all the time because he cares for us. From that Supreme Lord, we all came. Janmadhyasya yataha. This is the second sutra of Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra. Janmadi asya yataha, from whom everything comes. And you all know that Srimad Bhagavatam starts the first sloka, Janmadi asya yataha. Yes? Janmadi yaso asya yato anvayat idara satya abhijna swarat tene brahma hidaya adi aviya mukhyantiya suryaga. The first sloka is nothing but the second sutra of Vedanta Sutra. From whom everything comes, by whom everything is maintained, to whom everything goes back. That is the Supreme Absolute Godhead. That is said in this particular sloka. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, in the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, the universal form, where in the 10th chapter, Arjuna said that, Krishna, tell me about your opulence. My opulence are unlimited. What can I tell about it? If I come and ask you, Prabhu, tell me something about your wealth. I can tell I have one house, I have 2 cars, I have this much of savings in my bank. I can tell this thing because I can count everything what I have. You go and tell to someone, a very rich man, how many homes you have, how many properties you have, what he's going to tell, let me think about it. Let me think about it doesn't mean that he doesn't have anything. He has so much, he doesn't know the count of it. The rich man. Think about Krishna. Think about Krishna. And Arjuna is asking, tell me about your opulences, your wealth. And Krishna is scratching his head. Oh, let me think about it. Let me think about it. Why? There is nothing exists which doesn't belong to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna, including us, including our Atma. Therefore, of all the surrenders that we do, we may surrender our money to God, Krishna. We may donate our car to God. We may donate whatever we can think of. The biggest donation that we can give to Krishna is our Atma itself. Bali Maharaj did that one. Atma Samarpanam. Offering my heart, my Atma, the Atma is yours, Krishna. Do whatever you want, however you want. You want to place a garland on me? Place a garland. You want to stamp on me? You stamp on me. Because why? I'm your property. You have all rights to do that, what you like to do. I have this laptop. This laptop belongs to me. I can place it on the table. I can place it on the ground. I can just fold it into pieces, break it into whatever I want. It's just my property. Likewise, Krishna, I am yours. Do as you wish, as you wish. Therefore, Arjuna, when he saw in the 11th chapter, then satisfying Arjuna's request to show this universal form, Aneka Bahudara Vaktra Netram, then when he saw this universal form, Arjuna got really, really scared. He said what he saw was hundreds and thousands of heads. Hundreds and not one head, hundreds and thousands of heads. That means thousands of eyes, thousands of nose, thousands of arms. So many, he just couldn't take it anymore. And this is Purusha that we are talking about in this particular chapter. Nantam na madhyam na punas tavadim pashyami vishveshara vishwarupam. He says, I can't see the starting, where it starts. I can't see the end. I can't see the middle either. Such a huge universal form. My dear Lord, this is enough for me. I cannot take it anymore. I cannot take it anymore. Come to your original form. Then Krishna appeared in his, finally he came into his two-handed form. After showing the forehand, and he showed his two-handed form. Sagastra Sirisha Purushaha Sagasraksa Sagasra Part. The Lord has hundreds and thousands of heads. Doesn't, when it says, the sloka says Sagastra Sirisha Purushaha, the Lord has 1,000 heads. That doesn't mean it's limited to 1,000 heads. Thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, thousands of hands. He wants, he can do all those things. Purusha. Now we are getting to understand this term Purusha by simple a formula. We'll see what that is. Who can be called as Purusha? Uttama Purusha, Purushottama. Okay. There are 5 points to know, to identify who can be called as Purusha, the absolute supreme personality of Godhead. 5 points. The first point is one who has all auspicious qualities. All qualities which is auspicious. We cannot find one fault, dosha, one fault in that person. Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki Chai. We cannot find one fault in that person. Right? We may also have good qualities. It is a time-based good qualities. Ours are time-driven, meaning in the morning we may be sattvic, we may be good person, paying obeisances, telling Hare Krishna, and then as day passes, we may get into Rajoguna. As day passes, we may get into Tamoguna. Therefore, our qualities are constrained, but Krishna's qualities are unlimited qualities. He has only auspicious qualities, unlimited qualities. It's all auspicious. The second point is, so the first one is auspicious qualities. And by the way, the great sages say that he has unlimited qualities. If you take one of his quality, for example, compassion, daya, one of the qualities called daya, even to measure that quality, it's not possible. Even that is unlimited. The qualities are unlimited. You pick one quality, even to measure that is not possible, because that is also beyond one's measure, is quality. For me, I can be compassionate today to someone or help someone because I'm in a good mood. Or I'm expecting something from you, therefore I can be good to you. But Krishna is not expecting anything from him, from us, to have good qualities. Naturally, he has swabhava. Naturally, he has all the good qualities. Naturally, he has the good quality. For us, we have to work to get good qualities. I want to be good. I have to work hard to become good. But Krishna doesn't have to work hard to be a nice person. Therefore, the first point is auspicious qualities. Second point is the Purusha. Second point, one, it can be identified as Purusha is one who can burn out all the sins of living entities. Sarva papebhyaha. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva papebhyaha. I will remove all the sins from you. Sarva dharman parityajya maake mekam saranam vaja aham tva sarva papebhyaha. I am remove all your sins. Only Krishna can remove all our sins. And Krishna's representative can certainly do that. But fixing to our topic of Purusha, only Krishna can remove all the sins of us. And the sins that we have is unlimited baggage. Because we are so very smart. We may have to work hard to earn money. We may have to work hard to earn education. We may have to work hard to earn the good characters. But without any difficulty, we are very expert to earn sins in a matter of fraction of seconds. We are so expert. And that fraction of second that we earn the sins, to repay it, we may take hundreds of lifetimes. But the only person who can remove all the sins is Krishna. Purushottama, Uttama Purusha. So the first one is, number one, auspicious qualities. Number two, burns out all the sins. Number three, he is a cause of all causes. Sarva karana karanam. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Krishna says very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter, 8th sloka, that aham sarvasya prabhavaha. I am the cause of everything. I am the master. I am the cause of all causes. Okay, I can understand you are the cause of all these things. You are the cause of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, whatever you can think of. But you must be having someone beyond you also, right? You must be having another cause, because there cannot be anything without a cause. There are two schools of thought. Things that can only come from which already exists. That's one school of thoughts. And another thing is things comes by itself without a cause. We are not going to get into too much details about those philosophies, but understand nothing can exist without a cause. But only one thing that comes, that exists without another cause, that is Purusha. Because when we say this Purusha has another cause, then that becomes a cause. Right? Therefore, one who doesn't have a cause, but he is the cause of all causes, that person, you know the story of Gajendra Moksha in Bhagavatam, the elephant is beautiful. How elephant was in suffering in this the river. He just went for a happy vacation trip with his family members, and then he got stuck. His foot got caught by the crocodile. 1,000 celestial years he was fighting with this crocodile. He understood that it's not possible. I cannot save myself. The crocodile, after fighting for 1,000, not human years, celestial years, then it come to a conclusion, I cannot save myself. The truth is no one can save us. We cannot save ourselves. Only Krishna can save. Then he understood, Namastu Adbhuta Karanaya, Nishkaranaya, Akila Karanaya. The elephant started singing in Bhagavatam, Namaste Adbhuta Karanaya, Akila Karanaya. He says, Nishkaranaya. Nishkaranaya is a term that we are talking about. Nishkaranaya means one who does not have a cause for his existence. That is Nishkarana. Because what happened is, this elephant was suffering so much, all the devatas was in the sky, they were coming to help this crocodile, this elephant to save. They were ready to help the elephant. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indra, everyone thought, oh, it's too much of suffering. Let's go and help. When they're ready to go and help, that's when this Gajendra elephant started singing this sloka, said that, please, that Namaste, that Supreme Lord, who doesn't have cause himself, but he is the cause of everything. You please come and save me. When he placed the statement, everyone put a sudden break. They all put a sudden break because they can't proceed further, because Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, they are not the cause of all causes. And they are not one who doesn't have a cause. Krishna is the cause of their existence. Therefore, they said, oh, it's not us. Wrong number. They stopped. Then Krishna came as Sri Hari and he saved this Gajendra. So Purusha is the one who is a cause of all causes. Okay. 3 points we saw. The first one is Purusha is auspicious, who has all the auspicious qualities. Second is he who burns out all the sins. Number 3 is he is a cause of all causes. Now let's see number 4. And 2 more points and we'll conclude. The 4th point is he is the one who can bestow all the desires. Desires get fulfilled. Whether you come for material desire or whether you come for the spiritual desire. Whether you want to enjoy in this world or whether you want to go back to spiritual world and serve Krishna. We have a desire. No one can exist without desire, by the way. No one can exist without desire. But our desire should be in alignment and sync with Krishna's desire. That's what we are all trying to do here. The people outside, they have a desire which is not aligned with Krishna's desire. Like a Venn diagram. You know the Venn diagram, right? You heard in the schools we studied Venn diagram. The Venn diagram, there are 2 circles. One circle A, circle B. When the 2 circles comes together, collides or comes together, there's an intersection, right? That's called Venn diagram. Now I have a desire and this is Krishna's desire. When I have my own desire, then Krishna still fulfills, but that's not what pleases Krishna. What we need to do is work hard to make our desire come closer in alignment with Krishna's desire. And our desire is as Krishna's desire. So this is what the fourth point. Fourth point is our desires get fulfilled by worshipping, praying to Purusha. And the last point is who is called Purusha? One more time. What's the first one? First one is auspicious qualities. Second one is burns out the sinful reactions. Third one is cause of all causes. Fourth is desires get fulfilled. And fifth one is another very important thing. We may play an important role in the society. When we play an important role as a temple president or whatever you can think of, a corporate officer, CEO of the company, right? But the CEO of the company exists himself and he has a subordinate. He gives orders and commands and puts up budgets and things like that. He supplies the necessary things and the subordinate get the work done. That's what we see usually in the corporate world or any organization. There is one leader who gives an order and the subordinate gets the orders executed. Krishna works in a different way. What he does is, of course, he gives orders, but not just gives order. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshu arjuna tishtati. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshu arjuna tishtati. He not only gives order, the leader, which is Purusha, he enters into each and every living entities. This is from Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 61st sloka. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshu. He enters into each and every living entities. And that is only possible by Purusha. Why he enters? So that we become like a yantra. Yantra means a machine. He makes us mayaya. He makes us work in a way according to our karma. He makes sure our karmas are getting executed by sitting inside. Well, what is the outside? That's what we saw in yesterday's sloka. Yesterday, from outside, he becomes adhara. Outside is carrying the whole creation. From inside, he executes things, happens. He makes us do things according to our karma. If I have to do something, if I have to do something in St. Louis, I have to go and do some cooking at the St. Louis temple, ISKCON temple, Krishna Balaram temple. I cannot be here and close my eyes and let the cooking happen there. It's not going to happen. I have to physically go there and start cutting the sabjis, vegetables, and cook. If I go there, I cannot be present here. But wonderful thing about Krishna is he can be inside, he can be outside. He can be inside also and he can be outside. None of us can do that. Only the Purusha can do it. Therefore, 5 points to summarize today's subject matter is number one, Purusha is one who is full of auspicious qualities, not even one false in him. Number two, burns out all the sins if we desire to get it burnt. Number three, cause of all causes. Number four, desires get fulfilled. Number five, enters into each and every entity. Whether it's a living entity or non-living entities, God is present through his energy everywhere. How easily we can understand this? Remember what Purusha is? Simple. A for auspicious qualities. B for burns out all the sins. C for cause of all causes. A, B, C, and then what's the next? D, desires get fulfilled. E, enters into all living entities. Purusha. Uttama Purushastvanyaha. Uttama Purushastvanyaha. From him, not only Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra comes. Chandra, Surya, all the living entities that you can think of, everything comes out from him, stays for some time, and when pralaya, destruction happens, everything goes in. And this is a subject matter that we are studying in this chapter of cause of all causes. With that said, I will stop here and request Maharaj to add anything he would like to add. Or anyone has any questions, we can. Yes, Prabhu.
you were saying earlier, Prabhu, that a child, as he grows up, might resent his parents for his circumstances. Just wondering what a parent could say to the child about that in a wise way.
Can you say? I cannot understand. Say,
A child may resent his parents because
Resent?
of his circumstances.
circumstance.
Yeah. What could a parent say to the child when they're confronted with this?
I still did not get. I'm sorry. Anyone can help me understand the question? Yeah. Oh, is that what you asked, Prabhu?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm so dumb to understand.
I'm sorry, I
your
couldn't explain it
intelligent
better.
question. You're like your statement is like a Brahma Sutra. It has to be decoded. Thank you for decoding. Because I'm not very good in English. What should a parent do when the children act in such a way? What do you do? Learn a lesson. Number one. Number two is when a parent does things with an expectation, certainly there will be a disappointment when the children behaves like that. Therefore, as a parent, don't expect much from the children. Do out of love and care. Don't expect anything, like how Krishna does for all of us. There are so many people. We are only 10, 15 people sitting here. So many living entities are outside wandering all over the places. Krishna doesn't, he shows the same care and love for everyone equally, according to their desire. So as a parent, what we have to do is accept it. This is reality. It's going to be the reality. The more we try to talk to the children and try to tell them what great things we have done, is just pitting our glories on our face. Bhakti Siddhanta says that when you glorify yourself, it's like you're drinking your own vomit. So what's the use of telling them what we have done in our life? They know, by the way. It's not that they don't know. But we should also understand something. How we were when we were a teenager at that time with our parents. Or we like Prahlad Maharaj, we would have done similar things in different degree. But the reality is not only, that's a reality in really any relationship. When we place expectation, there will be a disappointment. Therefore, the love comes out of any expectation will not give disappointment, and that love will grow further, deeper and deeper and deeper, especially the great sannyasis, great gurus that we have in our movement. Swamijis, Maharajas, can you imagine what they have done or doing for all of us? They know this guy is useless. How many times I have to tell him the instruction, still he doesn't get it. How many times I'm telling him, not do that, do like this. I told him indirectly. I told him through another messenger. I'm telling him directly. I'm telling him indirectly through the classes. I'm sending a messenger through someone to tell the message. Even I spoke to him directly. Still he doesn't get it. But he get disappointed. Gurus get disappointed, but they never get discouraged because they know I have to take care of my disciple. I have to take care of this fallen soul. Therefore, their compassionate is in a higher degree. Parents can grow like that in their consciousness. Anyone else? Yes, bro. No Brahma Sutra.
Thank you. Thank you for a wonderful presentation, Prabhu.
Yeah.
I was just curious. It makes sense what you were speaking about, the head, the arms, the thighs, and the feet. Have you heard, though, in the Srimad or in the Bhagavad Gita described that the Vaishyas actually come from the torso of the Supreme Lord?
Maharaj may know, I don't know.
You have, okay. I was just curious because I thought I heard something like that, but it makes sense that the Vaishyas would be the thighs because those are the working senses. So yeah, it makes sense.
The simple reason, the reason why the Brahmanas are appeared from the mouth of the Lord, because they recite Vedas. Therefore, they have to constantly recite Vedas. They come from the mouth of the Lord. The Kshatriyas should be warriors. Therefore, they come from the shoulder. So shoulders are considered to be the biceps and shoulder. So they come from the shoulder. The Vaishyas are the mercantile people. They have to do business by sitting. Therefore, they come from the thighs. The Shudras come from the feet of the Lord because they are the laborer. They have to work. They have to move around. They cannot sit and do the job. They have to work. For that reason, they come from the respective place. Prabhu. That's how the most of the you can read in Purusha Shukta or even Bhagavatam, in many places it's mentioned that way. Anyone else? Yes, Prabhu. Over there.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, what is it that causes us to be overly familiar in spiritual life or in any way of living at that? When we do something, for some time, we become familiar with it. And sometimes the luster or the draw to that thing, it loses its taste, or it loses some attraction. So what is it about life that causes this, and how can we use familiarity in a positive way in spiritual life?
Okay. So the question is how do we is a bit of questions together. One question is the familiarity. How do the familiarity we can take advantage of the familiarity, and then how can we not lose the taste of what we are doing? Correct? How can we not lose the taste? Initially, what happens is Krishna is very smart. We don't need to certify him how smart he is, but he is smart. So Krishna initially attracts those souls who to come to Krishna consciousness into some way or the other, either through prasadam, either through kirtan, either through literatures, either to some speech. Some way or the other, Krishna attracts that person. The person comes into Krishna consciousness. They really love to be with the devotees, and slowly Krishna starts putting it into a next level of examination. Next level. In the next level, he will try to do in such a way. Now, these things start playing in such a way that you mature yourself with the association to deal with people where not everyone is going to be friendly with you sometimes, which may lose your interest in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes you may get instruction which is not of what you want to hear. Right? These things also happens. But anyway, the point here is when we come into Krishna consciousness, when we take up the process, we should understand that we are in the mood of servant of servant of servant. We have to constantly keep telling that particular sadahari. So we need to take shelter of the holy name very deeply, not on a surface level. And we need to take off the wonderful opportunity of serving the Vaishnavas. I've not told the story here. One time, the story is from a biography of Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya, the great Acharya, he went to a southern part called Melkote. When he went there, there were a lot of this non-believer of Vedas. They are called Jains, Jainism. Like Buddhism, that's a Jainism also. The Jains, they never take up bhakti. By the way, Ramanujacharya is a great devotee of Lord Narayana, Vaishnava. But no one wants to take up Vaishnava, become a Vaishnava. But then what he did was, he called his disciple, one of his disciple, very, very humble, very nice disciple. He called his disciple. He knows those Jains, those people, go to the river called Kaveri. You know Ganges, right? You're all familiar with Ganges. Like that, there's another river called Kaveri. So that Kaveri, that beautiful river, passes through this, area. And all the Jains who are non-believer of God, non-believer of Vedas, they go there and take a bath in that river, running river. So Ramanujacharya called his disciple and told him, tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, you go to the northern part of the river and just sit there near the shore and place your feet in the water, running water. And disciple did not ask a question, what type of instruction are you giving, my dear Guru? It doesn't make any sense. He didn't ask any question. When Guru gives an instruction, the disciple simply follows. So therefore, this disciple went there and placed his feet under the water, Kaveri water, and sat there for a few minutes and then came back. The idea is that the water which is flowing from the north to the south, that water is the same water which comes where the Jains take bath. That means the water which is washed the feet of a Vaishnava is what they are taking bath now. To everyone's surprise, within few days, all the Jains came and fell at the feet of Ramanujacharya, said, we want to surrender to you. Ramanujacharya did not give a Bhagavatam class like how we are trying to do here, did not give any big instructions, simple, a dust from the feet of a great Vaishnava. Taking shelter at the feet of the Vaishnava will save us from going down the road. So we have to value what we have in our life at the moment. Rather than thinking of tomorrow or yesterday, what we didn't have, tomorrow, what's going to come. Right now, I have an opportunity to serve this personality. Let me dedicate my life, because we don't know how long I'm going to live, what Krishna has a plan for any one of us. Therefore, let's take an opportunity to serve that Vaishnava and then be safe. That's a way to safeguard ourselves. Take opportunity as much as possible. I have faith in the dust that from the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas. And of course, chanting faithfully and praying to Krishna to give us the strength. If we sincerely pray to Krishna to give us that strength, Krishna is not going to tell, who cares about you? He's going to tell, yes, I will take care of you. Keep up that energy level. So make sure that we eat only prasadam. Number one, we only eat prasadam which is offered to Krishna. Don't get into any other unnecessary eating business. That will also contaminate our consciousness. And don't get involved in discussing and talking with people who are materialistic. That is again going to disturb. One may say that I don't talk to anyone, Prabhu. Well, what about this guy? We constantly talk to this guy in YouTube's, Facebook, everything. We start watching so many videos and let's avoid those things. Those are the simple things which may creep into our mind and start pulling us down. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I think we have to stop here. It's almost 9 o'clock. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu bhavevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much once again for giving me an opportunity to be with you all, and kindly forgive me for any offenses. Again, I'm just talking. I don't know anything. And it's all because of blessings of Maharaj's presence. Thank you. Hare Krishna.